Well, I'm not going to introduce myself again. That would be slightly superfluous, but I am going to very briefly just introduce our partner, Artefact here. Same as the previous session, I'm pretty sure Kevin and Serene will do a much better job of introducing both Artefact and themselves, but very high level. Artefact has been a partner of Relay 42 for years, actually. And is probably one of the strongest partners we have, not just regionally, but globally, actually, in coming up with data strategies. So today we're going to talk about first-party data and why it is so critical. I'll pass the word to Kevin and Serene. Please take it away.
Sure. Thank you, guys. So this is what's going to happen over the next 1 hour. We're going to start very quickly to introduce Artefact, what we do, so you know us a bit better. But it's just going to take 2 slides. After, we're going to dive into the topic that we have for you today on our point of view, some conviction, and the roadmap when it comes to party data. At Artefact, we're a global digital service company. We, you see our mission over there, providing value by data. How we do that is really across 3 pillars. And I would say what you see in the middle, data marketing, that would be our most unique expertise in the market. I'm sure all of you are familiar with data consulting. Over the last 2 years, we have been trying to integrate what we call art and science between data consulting and digital activation. The result of that, accelerated by COVID, is what you see in the middle, data marketing. Very simply put, data marketing would be leveraging data onto marketing use cases or application scenarios. And first-party data is obviously a big part, a really big part of what we do, okay? And we're going to share with you, of course, some reasons why. And we're then going to share with you the how. We work with some of the global companies to accelerate their data and their digital transformation. I mentioned earlier we're global. Just to give you some context, we have slightly more than 800 employees around the world. We're headquartered in Paris, outside of Europe, where we're strongest in terms of footprint. Outside of Europe, it would be APAC next. We have about 120 people sitting in Shanghai. Outside of Shanghai, obviously, Kevin and myself, we sit in Singapore. We have an office in Hong Kong and also one in Kuala Lumpur. Our talent pool is unique in the sense that to enable us to deliver the integration of art and science, you can see this is reflected in our sales force, our task force. We have data consultants coupled with data scientists and engineers working all on the same floor with media experts. Media experts include typically include your last mile delivery or your deployment of activations such as SEO and social media content. This programmatic. Next slide. This is a very quick snapshot of the client or the globe. A lot of them, we help them in their data and digital transformation journey, from building blueprints, strategy, all the way to developing models and frameworks to be rolled out in several markets, or all the way down to what I call the last mile delivery, where we are literally running, optimizing campaigns and building dashboards, for example, for media teams, for CRM teams, to be able to work not in silo, but collaboratively. Now, I'm not going to elaborate a little more about what we do, because we have 1 hour with you, and we thought that. So I'm going to dive right in. Why is first-party data a matter of survival? Now, Today's topic of choice, which is first party conversation that's happening on a global scale. And this is due to the confluence of many market forces that is accelerated or compounded by COVID. This has the situation today globally has driven many businesses to look to unlock and maximize the value of their first party data. We are going to start the session today by highlighting what we think are the top 5 driving forces behind this trend. Now, challenge number 1, we're facing this across many organizations and globally. COVID has really caused many businesses to drastically shrink, if not totally cut off your advertising budgets. This is made worse with the simultaneous live sales during this period. What this has led to is the urgent need to maximize marketing efficiencies. And how many mature publishers and advertisers are reacting to this now is to proactively develop their own targeting capabilities. Of course, leveraging first-party data with tools that they know they can control and they can build upon. Now, visibility at a point like that and sustainability in all that you're investing in becomes super important to the clients that we're working with today, and we believe it is a global trend. Just to build a bit on this, with COVID unfolding over the last 1 year, a very interesting trend is we see CEOs of many across many large organizations suddenly they're turning their attention to a very age-old topic, CRM. And it's not there's nothing random about that. You can imagine why, because they suddenly had to pause all of their advertising budgets, and they realized that they have spent a lot over the last few years, and they have acquired a significant size of a customer database. So at times like that, they were looking to their CRM team and they were asking, guys, we have accumulated millions of customers, or what we call PIIs, personally identifiable information, customer data assets. We have millions of them sitting in our database on our server. What are we doing with them? So this is really the motivation behind this. One of the motivation behind this resurgence or attention on first-party data. I'm going to move on to challenge number 2. Like I said, as a result, CRM, it had been or has been what we call a dusty and kind of a ritualistic marketing lever up until recently, where paid investments for acquisition and conversion had to be dramatically decreased or put on hold. We see that it has accelerated the evolution of CRM as a topic, where traditionally 10 to 15 years ago, CRM was really known to focus on onboarding members, building traditionally what it stands for, customer relationship management, building a relationship, a direct one with your end consumer. We have gone through 2.0, where technology has allowed us to run pretty sophisticated loyalty programs, or what we call life cycle campaigns. There are tons of automation tools, customer engagement platforms out there that's allowing us to drive this type of very dynamic and personalized activations. And we're still familiar with that. Over the last 5 years, this is where things are moving towards CRM 3.0 and 4.0. On top of automation, we are taking a step back and we're really prioritizing the consumer experience or the consumer journey. Now, this is of course in relation to how the digital economy has been evoluting over the last 4 to 5 years. The entire awareness to engagement or consideration to purchase a consumer funnel, it's getting more and more fragmented. Okay, there are marketplaces now that's in play. Of course, you have your search, and then there's social media, and then there's influencer marketing. So, other than being fragmented, it also consumer experiences, they are living in silo. Brands over the last 5 years have been trying to break this silo. So they have what we call a singular customer view. Why they would do that? It's obviously they make sure that they understand the consumer better so that they can more effectively build loyalty. But also they use this type of insights to ensure that their media budgets are more efficiently spent. Now that's 3.0, and a lot of you probably are already doing it, or you know that this is best practice. What we're seeing is that there are some very sophisticated or more advanced companies, and they are already at 4.0 or in moving towards that direction. Now, CRM 4.0 is really when you are doing really granular segmentation. Okay, you are leveraging transactional, behavioral, social, demographic data. You are leveraging first party, second party, third party data to perform very granular personalization. Now, the magic is that at the same time, it is extremely granular. It is also extremely scalable. Reason being, again, enablers such as certain CEPs out there, they are enabling us to perform very advanced one-to-one engagement at scale, resulting in extremely targeted or personalized activation. We see a lot of this happening, especially in the luxury sector. And we see a lot of B2B companies trying to build their D2C attack plan to becoming B2B2C. So this is what we call CRM 4.0. I'm now going to move into challenge number 3. And this is a very interesting one because, okay, we're going to step back from COVID. We're going to step back from things that seems very circumstantial. And challenge number 3 is really a trend that has been started since the last, I would say, 4 to 5 years ago. This was where we are today, it's not a surprise at all. Now, where we are today is that third-party data, it's quickly becoming second class. To be more accurate, they are gradually being phased out, okay? Where a significant milestone of their death is obviously Google's announcement earlier this year to kill, there's a promise, there is a deadline to kill third-party cookies by 2022. Now, third-party cookies, they are indispensable to digital marketers like us, traditional digital marketers like us. How we use them, they were integral for us to track users. They were integral for us to deliver personalized ads, right, that target users around the web. While third-party data has comprised the majority of the data that marketers and analysts, because reason being, third-party data was easy and readily available. The evolution of the evolution of data privacy regulations and the rigors of crafting or the requirement to craft personalized customer experiences, they are elevating the importance of first-party data. And this is one of a very strong reason why we are seated today with you to discuss the why and later the what about first-party data. And obviously, I know very importantly would be the how. And we're going to also showcase some of our case studies with some clients. Now, challenge number 4, third-party data. Just to take a step back and align everyone, they are collected by organizations that do not have a direct link with the end consumer. So they are usually behavioral, demographics, or contextual data that is collected by data aggregators, right? And it's for the purpose of selling it to other companies. In their nature, they come in large quantities. Okay, that's the upside. But the downside is the quality of the data. So this is where first-party data really shines. First-party data, they are collected and they are controlled by your organization. They could come from your web properties. They could come from your mobile applications. They could come from your POS systems. But basically, these are customer information that can flow in real time from the moment it is produced. They are almost with content. That is when your customers opt in to cookies, authenticate that they are open to you collecting that information. This process really ensures that the first party data it's accurate and it's complete. So turning to a first party data strategy really unlocks a host of use cases that can help you maximize business goals like digital transformation. Okay, and that is why when we talk about digital transformation, we inevitably talk about data transformation as well. Now, the last one, challenge number 5. We talked a lot about first-party data. We talked a lot also about party data. Second-party data, on the other hand, it's a data type that is not shared to you by a user directly. The first-party data that's owned by another company, like Amazon, like Lazada, like Shopee. So how organizations typically leverage second-party data is they could go onto Amazon, leverage on that second-party data, and run a media campaign with it, right? However, if any of you own your own shop in shop or store in store, or you own a last mall, or you own an official Shopee account, or you have a Tmall, a flagship store, you will know that these marketplaces, e-commerce is not their end game. They are playing a data game. And inevitably, because of the traffic that these marketplaces offer to brands and organizations, you have to be on them. But it doesn't mean that that is the ends to your business. What we would say is this is just a means, okay? Leveraging on data, but today you really need to think about how you can creatively and effectively be converting these second party into becoming your first party data. And this is going to be a trend that is going to get more compounded, especially after COVID, where people are developing the habit, and this habit seems like it's going to stay of purchasing online on marketplaces. And we also see many advanced organizations detecting or seeing that this is a red flag, that they need to start investing in converting second-party data into first-party data. To wrap things up, why we have titled first-party data being a matter of survival? It's because brands are operating in today a very uncertain environment, right? Uncertain in that there are many things that are moving very rapidly, COVID aside, economical and technological. And there is a real race or a real competition amongst brands within your category, outside of a category, and then between brands and platforms, or between brands and marketplaces to gain direct access to end consumers. That is the end goal of all organizations, whether you are an Amazon today, or whether you are a Samsung, or whether you're a Sanofi. So, organizations or businesses who have the access and the assets both and thrive in a very sustainable manner. Now, I wanted to open up the floor to you guys and ask back to you a question, which is, where do you think your organization is in terms of first-party data strategy today? And to make things very simple, we have built in this live poll Now, all we need is for you to, I guess the most intuitive way would be to pick up your phone and scan the QR code, and you would then enter the live poll. Or if you find that it's more convenient, to enter the URL that you see on the left side panel of this slide. Maybe we can take 10, 20 seconds for everybody to enter the poll. I'm going to stay here for 10 seconds so you have time to copy and paste the URL. Okay, I'm moving on to the next page. If anybody requires me to stay on longer, let me know. Otherwise, there you go. Now, if you have entered the QR code and you still see the QR code on the, now you don't see it anymore. But what we need you to do actually is just to show us by selecting how much first-party data do you think your business unit or your organization, yourself, you can see it ranges from at the top a lot, and scenario. And I would love to know who you are. To at the bottom, not at all. I don't even have a database to collect consumer data. Us to go back to the QR code. No, we're good. And all of you are voting. But I don't see anybody saying that they are using their first party data a lot. Okay. Well, interesting. And it's always like every time we do a poll like that.
Yeah.
Every time we do a poll like that, it always takes on this shape, right?
Ah.
Oh, who is this?
One person.
Is this one person? How do you know?
I guess.
Yeah, it could be a few.
It could be a few, yeah.
But I guess the majority, again, as per when we usually do this poll, it's always between number 2 and number 3 option. It seems like you're moving in that direction, but everybody seems to know that you can do better, right? Number 2 being somewhat not done in a holistic way. I am doing CRM in silo. You don't have a singular customer view. Number 3 being limited, basic personalized consumer engagement. Now, the good news is, after our presentation, ideally it will inspire you to know that it is not that difficult, or it is not that high a mountain to climb over to be addressing option number 2 and 3. It's not that difficult, and we're going to make it as simple for you to understand as possible. And for those who selected option 1, please PM me. I would love to have lunch together, and I think we will have a very good chat on best practices, just to exchange some ideas. It's decreasing. Okay, fine.
People changing their minds. Self-questioning.
No more. No lunch.
No lunch. So sad.
Fine. But the trend doesn't change. We move on to question 2.
People are still changing their mind.
Yeah, interesting.
There's one more question, guys. No worries.
We move on to question 2. And I think this would be a much more insightful question for everybody. Insightful for everybody, I mean. What are your top challenges you face when you try to, or when you are leveraging first-party data strategies? Very quickly, we have somebody responding to say, I have low data quality. That's a really good awareness because you will be surprised to know that many organizations, they are not even aware about the topic of data quality, not to mention whether their data is of high or low quality. I don't have enough data doesn't seem to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. I don't know what I can achieve. Very valid. Very valid. And it's also usually because what you can achieve can take on many forms and shapes, meaning there are literally thousands of use cases out there. It could be applied on marketing, it could be applied on CRM, it could be applied on paid media, it could be applied on supply chain, it could be applied on merchandising. And under each of these functions, it gives birth to a few hundred more. So I think that is a very real pain point, especially when we're hearing people telling us we need to go through a digital transformation, we need to be more digital, we need digitalization. I think people who are indicating that I don't know what I can achieve, they're actually really wise, because we always believe that you need to, your use case or the application, your use case needs to be pulled by your business goal. And you do not blindly go through digital or data transformation just because there are grants out there for you to do it, or that my CEO is telling me that yes, we need to go through a digitalization. It's a very fair question to throw back. What can I achieve by investing so much? And between this word of investment, you know what you achieve. However much money and time you're pouring in then seems like a cost. But when you go in knowing what you want to achieve and get out of it, it's not a cost anymore, it's an investment, because you are expecting real returns to come back from your time and effort going through data and digital transformation. So thank you for highlighting that. I think that's very insightful, and it's a great question for everybody, whether you come from a CRM team or marketing team or the data team, to actually start thinking. We would say that's the first question you need to start thinking about. So we will try to cover a roadmap maybe in 5 minutes, very quickly.
We'll do that very quickly. So I think as Serene has mentioned, I mean, the process is actually not that complicated. We always look at data, first party, second or third party data in our approach. Processing and activation. So it's very simple. So ingestion, at the end of the day, now we need to look at on platform, off platform, website, CRM, and others. We all want them to be in the same place. So then actually a very honest and holistic audit of where you are in terms of how much data you're getting and where they are sitting. This is the first question we need to ask ourselves. Then second, of course, we need to try to make this data work together. Mapping the data to make sure that, data are not in silos. Your CRM data, first party data, we're not talking the same person in different ways because your data is in different places. There is this particular use case that we have actually done with Relay 42 a couple of years back with a global airline. That's exactly what we're trying to do, is to bring in the data from different sources and to make it reform one single customer view. And once we have that, there's so many things you can do. Rule-based segmentation to machine learning-based segmentation, and bringing all these things, not from a campaign basis, but actually in an always-on scenario. So then you keep talking to your consumer and you grow that loyalty, but not just look at things from a very product-centric or from a consumer or from a campaign-centric point of view. Samsung is a very good example that is a great kind of artifact that I've been working with for many, many years already. So the challenge or the mission is actually to roll out what we call the consumer-centered and data-driven marketing approach. And the idea is to link up all the platforms that they have so that we track data at a very granular level and we can design the campaign, and we also coordinate with the people, whether or not it's the internal teams or the external agencies, to make sure we all work together. But this is not the end of the story, because what we are aiming, not only aiming, we are already having a lot of success in implementing a lot of this machine learning use. Once we have all this data in the same place, we want to use them in a smarter way. So instead of sitting in one room and deciding what kind of behavior means a certain propensity, leverage advanced technology to say, okay, so combine, for example, first party data, second, third party data. This is actually what we can do to, again, back to Serene's point, right? Is that efficiency and effectiveness how we're driving all these marketing campaigns, media, CRM, etc. Sorry for rushing in a little bit. So how to get started then? So 3 steps. Everything is 3 steps, very simple. Design, build, and run. Design is very important. Back to the point on we don't. The biggest mistake that we can make in this kind of journey is to say, okay, I'm going to build a CDP. I'm going to put all the data into it and now figure out what to do. That's wrong. Everything should start with a business case. What are we trying to achieve as a business from a marketing standpoint, from a supply chain standpoint, from a HR finance standpoint? Then we look at the pain points and we ask ourselves honestly where we are, where to go. And then we fill in the gap by building the platform that will answer those questions. You build a CDP, you make sure you do the integration right, the mapping right, and then you plan basically what the customer life cycle should look like. And then you build these enablers to make sure that your first-party data assets is not only accumulating, but also they're working in your favor. And then last but not least, this is the easy part, activating it. It's actually just to make sure that you launch all these data use cases, talking to your consumers at the right time, right moment, testing, monitoring, measuring the right thing, so that you're on the right on achieving what you have set yourself. And so this is it. Design, build, and run. This is a standard process on any data transformation process. But now I guess the key message here is first-party data has become, I would say, like the spotlight, because it is a matter of survival. And if you haven't started this journey, maybe it's about time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kevin and Serene. I feel a bit bad for you having to have rushed there at the end. But I think the conversation around the poll was also really fun and justified a bit of time on that as well. I think for both of us, or all 3 of us, not very surprising answers, but I think it's still good to always see those responses actually coming from the clients themselves. So if there are any questions about either sessions, please follow up. We are connected with everyone in these sessions, so please follow up with us over email. We can always take that offline. We are now going to actually move back to the stage. There we're actually going to have some closing remarks from Rogier, our CEO. And after that, we're actually going to have a virtual networking session. So please stick around for that if you want. We'll mention it on the stage as well, what we need to do to get there. Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much, Serene. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.